So welcome everyone. Happy Mother's Day for our Mindful Healthcare Collective Multigenerational Yoga. And I asked my son Slade, who's sitting back there, to co-teach with me as a Mother's Day present. He became a yoga teacher last year, a year after watching me become a yoga teacher. And he says, I don't know if he'll still say it's true, but that he was inspired by what it did for me. So he was going to try it out and see what it could do for him. And so he's been teaching a bit, and he agreed to teach 2 classes with me today. This one for the Mindful Healthcare Collective and another one for our local studio where we both did our training, with the idea that we could do yoga for ourselves and for our families and just sort of join in a nice practice together. Doesn't have to be too hard. And for those of you who haven't done yoga before, you just do what you can. There's no yoga as a practice. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to sweat. If you want to work hard, you can do that. Slade's style is generally a little harder than mine, but he's also more lighthearted and entertaining than me. So hopefully you'll enjoy him. No pressure. So for those of you who don't know me, because there are people on here who I don't know, I'll just introduce myself and then I'll tell you a little bit about Slade, or if you want to introduce yourself, you can. But I am a pediatrician and on the leadership team of the Mindful Healthcare Collective. And we are a group of 9 physicians who have training in wellness and mindfulness. And our aim is to share it with all of the healers to help heal the healers, and also to spread mindfulness into the culture of medicine for both physicians and any healthcare providers, as well as all the patients, realizing that it's a method of healing and a way to bring health to others. I also do coaching for physicians and parents, and do that from the mindful perspective, bringing in this idea of noticing and being aware of what's going on, and that being the prerequisite to making conscious and intentional changes in your life. So if anyone's interested in that, you can email me or message me, and most of you know how to find me through the Facebook page. So do you want to introduce yourself, or you want me to?
I can. I'm Slade. What should I say? I work in healthcare too, kind of. I work for the community health department in Kaiser, San Francisco. And let's see, graduated from UC San Diego a couple of years ago. And yeah, been living at home, doing yoga, and I surf and play guitar, although not so much recently. What else do I do? That's about it.
Yeah. And Slade was supposed to be leaving imminently for the Peace Corps in Ecuador, but of course it was canceled. So he's working on his new alternate plans. But this is sort of our last chance to do this together, because I think he's moving out in a couple of weeks. He is, as he says. So this is our last chance, as I say. So, and absolutely. You can just watch. The beginning and the end will be very easy, seated, lying down, and the middle will be more movement. So someone sent me a message about that. And you can also just watch. Yoga is really just about breathing and being and participating. And so that's also absolutely a beautiful thing. So we will get started. If you just want to, did I forget anything, Nichang, before I get started? No. Okay, perfect. If you just want to take a seat on your mat. And as you sit, just take a moment to ground your hips into the earth. You can sit cross-legged, and if you are a mom and not on your mat and not just wanting to do kind of seated chair yoga, you can also do some of this seated. So wherever you are, just take a moment to sit, ground into the earth. A moment to pause and be present, and just notice what's going on in your body and how you feel at this moment. For some of you that are new to yoga, you might feel a little anxious and wondering why your daughter or mom dragged you here. And just try to be open and to the experience and see what happens. The idea is that it is a moment to connect with what's going on inside of you and just figure out how it feels and what's happening and play with it. See what you can do, what your body doesn't want to do, what feels good, what doesn't feel good. And as you sit here, begin to deepen your breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And in through your nose and out through your mouth. Lengthen the inhales and lengthen the exhales. Straighten your spine and reach the crown of your head towards the sky. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears and consciously drop them down. Open your palms on your thighs so you're in a position of openness. And keep going with the conscious breathing. Breathe in and breathe out. Most of the time, we're completely unaware of our breath. We often only use 30% of our lungs to take in breaths during the day. So use this time to nourish your body with all the oxygen and deep breathing. Use the breath as a form of nourishment and healing. Breathing in all the good stuff. And on the exhale, letting things go. Letting go of expectations, resentment, irritation, all the grudges that you might be holding. And that was the topic that I thought to bring up this Mother's Day. I've been noticing, and this has been true for myself for years, that Mother's Day is a beautiful day and also a day that's fraught with a lot of expectations and what your family and kids should look like and what your relationship with your mom is like and all the things you wish for your relationships with your kids and these ideas of what families should be like. And what I wish for all of us today is to let all of that go. Let go of the expectation and bring in acceptance. In coaching, we talk a lot about accepting what is. This is what we have today, is something in parenting, I think that's super relevant. And this is what we have today on this Mother's Day. It's a thought to carry with you. Breathe in and breathe out. And make space for that acceptance and allowing of each of us to show up for these relationships of mother, child, son, brother, sister, all of those, just as they are. What if we accepted and allowed each other just as we are? Each of us brings something different and something special. And when we focus on that, everything flows with a little more ease. Bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. Breathe in a little deeper through your nose and let it out. Do that once again. Breathe in through your nose. Notice your chest rise. And let it out. Take a moment to notice your heart beating under your left hand and your belly rise and fall with each breath. Bring your hands to heart center. Press your palms together, your thumbs into your sternum or that bone right in the middle of your chest. Your elbows will stick out wide. Think for a moment of what your intention is. An intention is a wish. Your wish or how you want to show up today for your relationships as a child, as a parent, as a brother, as a sister, as a husband, as a wife. How can you show up from a place of acceptance? Just experience the beauty of all that is there. Choose how you would like to show up. Breathe in deeply. Big exhale. One more inhale to seal in that intention. And a huge exhale. You can bring your hands back to your thighs and slowly open your eyes. From here, we'll inhale our arms up towards the sky. Reach up tall. Take an inhale, reach those fingertips even higher. Ground your hips into the ground. Notice the huge stretch. And then drop your shoulders. Once again, inhale. Reach tall and long. On the exhale, drop your left hand to the floor or the earth and reach those right fingertips over towards the left. Ground your right hip into the earth and notice that stretch on the whole right side body. Breathe in and breathe out. 2 more breaths here. Last one. Inhale your arms up towards the sky once again. And exhale, drop your right fingertips to the floor. Reach the left fingertips over. Open the whole left side body. Ground the left hip into the earth. Notice the stretching and the opening. Inhale your arms back up towards the sky. From here, we're going to open our arms and twist towards the left, right on that central axis. Inhale, reach both arms back up towards the sky. Exhale, turn towards the right, open your arms. Inhale, reach up towards the sky. 2 more. Exhale towards the left. Inhale, reach up towards the sky. And exhale towards the right. On the inhale, bring your arms back up towards the sky. Clasp your hands together, flip your palms up towards the sky. Do a little shimmy, get your elbows past your ears if they can go. Again, ground the hips into the earth, stretch your fingers up towards the sky. Take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, round your belly, suck your belly button into your spine, round your back, coming into a seated cat pose. Press those fingertips forward. Inhale, reach back up, arch a little bit, cow pose. Exhale, round your belly, suck your navel in. Inhale, arch your spine. We'll do 1 more here. Exhale, round and suck your belly and get your spine just moving, gently opening things up. Inhale, reach up towards the sky. Open your arms out towards the sides if you can. Press your palms into the side wall and just pause here for a moment. Notice the sensations in your arms. Breathe into it. Breathe out. 1 more like this. And then bring your hands forward in front of you. Make fists and just open and close them like little starbursts, warming up those forearms and your wrists. A few more. Notice any heat coming into your forearms. Open and close. And then just shake it out. From here, we'll come to our hands and knees. So if you want to put a blanket under your knees, you can for comfort. You're going to come into what we call tabletop. I'll try to move here so you can see both of us. You're going to have your knees directly under your hips, about hips width, so distance. Press your shins into the earth and the tops of your feet into the earth. And you'll have your hands directly under your shoulders. Open up all of your fingertips, 5 fingertips wide, and have little pie shapes in between your hands. Press your palms into the earth. Be strong here for a moment. We're going to stretch the right foot out behind us, flexed foot. And then inhale, raise that foot up about 6 inches into the air. Breathe into it and breathe out. If you wish, you can reach your left fingertips up off the floor, extend from one direction to the other. Focus on your center. Find your balance here. Find your even keel. Breathe into it. Breathe out. One more breath here. Lower your hand and your foot back towards the earth. Even yourself out and stretch your left foot behind you. Toes flexed towards the wall. On the inhale, reach your foot and your hand up. Press from one end of the room to the other. Focus your attention right on your belly button to help you balance. Find your balance in your center. Where is it within you, and can you bring it with you out into your day afterwards? Balanced and centered for what is many and is an emotional day. Lower both your hand and your knee towards the earth. We're going to inhale our right arm up towards the sky and thread it through the left hand and left knee, coming into something called thread the needle. You're going to tip your right ear and lay it down on the floor, bend that left elbow, and you should notice a stretch in your right side body. Your left hand, you can tent up your fingertips like cupcake hands, or you can straight your hand and walk your fingertips forward towards the front of your mat. Breathe into the back of the shoulder on the right side. 2 more breaths here. Press into your left hand, untuck your right arm, reach it up towards the sky as tall as you can, and lower it down to the floor. We'll do the other side now, so even yourself out. Reach that left hand all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, bring it between your right hand and your right knee. Allow your left ear to touch the floor. You can tent those right fingertips or stretch them long, whatever works for you. Notice the opening in the back of the body. Breathe into it. Use that breath to nourish you and let go of all that frustration, irritation, resentment, expectation. Make space. Walk your right hand back if you've extended it. Press into it. Reach the left fingertips up towards the sky and then lower them down towards the earth. From here, we'll walk our hands forward about a handprint. Curl those back toes under and lift up into downward dog. And pause here. You can play with it a little bit. Press your heels towards the floor if that feels good. It can be gentle. It doesn't need to be hard. Reach your hips up towards the sky. Press into your hands. Tip your head back a little bit. Lift up onto your tiptoes. Lower them down. Bend your left knee and press your right heel into the floor. Switch sides. Bend your right knee and press your left knee into the floor. Lift up onto both tiptoes. Bend both knees. Bring your shins parallel to the floor and then stick your hips up and straighten your legs all the way up towards the sky. Slowly lower your heels down. Pause here and take 3 deep breaths.
From here, bring your knees down to the floor. Bring your toes together, knees apart, and sink your hips back. Come into child's pose. You're going to put your forehead on the floor, reach your fingertips long out in front of you. Take this moment to go inside.
Check in with yourself. Use the breath and just pause and just be. When you're ready, we'll meet back in downward dog. You'll press into your hands, lift your hips back up. From here, walk your hands slowly back towards your feet. You can widen your stance or open your feet up a little bit more if you need to, and bend your knees if you need. Grab your elbows and drop your head. Come into forward fold. You can shake your head yes and shake your head no. Rock into your toes a little bit and back into your heels and over to the right and to the left. Come back and find your center. Unclasp your elbows and bring your hands together at your sacrum. Allow your hands to fall forward towards the front of your mat, your head to drop. You'll feel an opening in the front of the shoulders. Breathe into it. Use the breath to let things go. Bend your right knee, straight your left tip over towards the left side. And then bend your left knee, straight your right, tip a little bit towards the right. Come back to center. Bring your hands back towards your sacrum, and then allow your hands to run down your thighs back towards the earth. Engage your belly, all those core muscles, and slowly roll up to stand, vertebrae by vertebrae. Very slowly, your head will be the last to rise. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears, drop them towards the back of your mat, and let them fall. Open your palms towards the front of the room. Tadasana, or mountain pose. Take a big deep breath in here, and a deep breath out. All right, I'm going to move to the front. We're fine. Okay.
I'll be here. All right, from here, we're gonna inhale our arms up to the sky, reaching towards the ceiling. And exhale, bring your palms through heart center, hinge at the hips, and come back down to forward fold. Inhale, rise up to halfway lift, reaching your heart towards the front of your mat. And exhale, we're gonna walk our hands out and find ourselves in a plank position with our shoulders above our wrists, charging our thighs, and pressing into the ground. Take a deep inhale here, and exhale, slowly lower yourself down to the ground. Keeping your hands by your ribs and your armpits, press into the tops of your toes and engage your thigh muscles. We're pressing into the tops of our feet and our hip bone. And we're gonna inhale, raise our chest up for cobra pose. Exhale, curl your toes, come back up through tabletop, and we'll press into our hands, raise our hips, and come back to downward dog. Once here, we're gonna inhale, rise on up to our tiptoes. Exhale, bend your knees, and then slowly walk to the front of the mat for a forward fold. On your next inhale, come on up to halfway lift. Heart raised towards the front of your mat. And exhale, back down to forward fold. On your next inhale, slight bend in the knees. Rise on up to stand, arms up towards the sky. And exhale, bring your palms to heart center. So that's a sun A salutation. We're gonna go through one more of those. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Bring your hands down to the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, heart raised towards the front of the mat. Exhale, drop your palms to the ground and step back to plank. Take an inhale here. And exhale, slowly lower yourself down to the ground. Here we're gonna press into the tops of our feet once again, charge our thighs, and inhale, lift our chest towards the front of the mat for Cobra. And exhale, press into your palms, come up onto your knees through tabletop, and raise your hips up and back for downward facing dog. From here, we're gonna inhale our right leg up to the sky, bend your knee and open your right hip up towards the side of your mat. Here, if you can, try to keep your chest squared towards the ground. Opening up the hip socket. On your next breath, bring your leg back to center, but keep it raised in the air. And then from here, we are going to bring our knee to our nose. Bring your foot down to the ground in between your hand and let your back knee drop to the ground. When you feel like you got some balance, kind of walk your hands up your thigh. And we'll inhale, raise our arms up to the sky. Here it's important that your knee is not too far forward over your ankle. Keep it about 90 degrees. Really push into the top of your left foot into the ground and reach to the sky. At the same time though, if your shoulders are coming up to your ears, take a deep breath and let them relax down into their sockets. From here, we're going to drop our right hands down to our right hip. Inhale, reach up towards the sky with our left. And exhale, tip towards the right side for a side bend on our left side of our body. Feel the opening of the ribs. Notice if it feels uncomfortable or like your muscles are stretching apart, or even like your ribs are breaking, but probably not that. That'd be bad. All right, on your next inhale, let's bring our arms back up to the sky. And exhale, we're gonna straighten our right leg, kind of tip our hips back and fold over our right foot for a half splits. So here we are engaging this right foot, toes up towards the sky, flexed to protect our knee. For people who aren't flexible like me, I kind of stay up on my fingertips. But if you're more flexible, you can bend even more over your right leg, stretching out the right hamstring. 2 more deep breaths here. Inhaling in that nourishing air and exhaling, allowing yourself to melt a little bit deeper. All right, bring your right foot back to the ground and walk your hands forward on either side of your right foot. We're gonna curl our left toes into the ground, engage our left leg and come on up. And next, we're gonna press your left hand into the ground, raise your right arm up to the sky for an easy twist. Keeping your back leg engaged, twisting from your core, and feeling that triangle of support between both of your feet in the ground and your hands. One last deep inhale in. And exhale, bring your right hand back down to the ground. And bring your right leg back to plank. Keep it engaged here for 1 breath. And slowly lower yourself down to the ground. From here, press into the tops of your feet, engage your thighs, and inhale, raise your chest up to the front of the mat for Cobra. And exhale, come on up to tabletop. Curl your toes and push your hips back to downward dog. Now we're gonna make our way to the left side. So inhale, raise your left leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and let your hips open up towards the left side of your mat. Again, keeping your hands pressing into the ground with equal force on each hand. And keeping your chest square to the ground if you can. Bring your leg back to center, but keeping your weight in the air. Next, we're going to bring our knee to our nose. And bring your foot down to rest in between your hands, dropping that back knee to the ground. Slowly walk your hands up your leg. And when you're ready, inhale your arms up to the sky. Here again, we're going to feel that separation, pressing into the ground, into our knee, our right shin, and the right tops of our foot, and extending and reaching up towards the gods. One more deep inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, drop your left hands to your left thigh, and tip towards the left side, opening up your right side body. Feeling the stretch in your hip and in your ribs, really reaching towards the left corner of your room. On your next inhale, bring your arms back up to the sky. We're going to tip our hips back and exhale, fold over our left leg, bringing our palms or fingertips to the ground. So again, keep your left foot flexed to protect that left knee. If you're more flexible, you can kind of bend over your leg for a deeper stretch, but we'll be here for a couple breaths. Trying not to judge how tight your hamstrings are or how loose they are. Just trying to accept where you're at and know that you're here now and working on your body, being present with your mind. All right, we're going to walk our hands forward, bending the left knee. Curl your right toes underneath you. Engage that right leg. Press your right hand to the ground and inhale, raise your left arm up to the sky for an easy twist. Here it's still important to keep that back leg engaged and twist from your core. One last deep breath here. Deep inhale. And open mouth exhale. Go ahead and drop your left hands towards the ground. And bring your left leg back to meet your right. Press back to downward facing dog. Noticing where you're at. If you're feeling sore, tired, or if you're feeling energized to start the morning. On our next inhale, bring your right leg up to the sky. And exhale, bring your right foot in between your hands. Roll your left leg to the ground and cartwheel your arms up for warrior two. So I'm gonna go the other way so you guys can see what's going on. Look down for a second and check your feet. Make sure they're in heel to heel alignment. We're going to really roll this left hip back into the socket, turning our right hip forward. Spine is continuing to stretch up towards the sky as we extend our arms out to either side of our mat. Keep your gaze fixed over your left middle finger, and with each exhale, drop your shoulders back into their socket. I'm doing the opposite. From here, we're going to inhale and tip forward. Curl your left forearm to rest on your left thigh, and extend your right arm out towards front of your mat, palm facing the ground for side angle pose. Notice how you feel here. Continuing to open up this side, creating a strong energy line all the way from the top of your hand down to the back of the outside of your foot. On our next inhale, we're going to press into that back foot and come back up to warrior two. Inhale, tip your hips back and extend your arm towards the front of your mat. And exhale, let your hand drop to your shin and extend your arm up to the sky. I forgot what side we're doing. Again, twisting from your torso and from your chest. Trying not to press too hard into your shin with your hand. On your next breath, we're going to bend your front knee and come back up to warrior two. Notice how you feel here now. Are you feeling stronger, weaker, a little more open? I'm going to take a deep inhale in. And exhale, sink a little bit deeper into that lunge. All right, last pose here. Inhale, flip your palm and extend it towards the front of your mat. And exhale, take it back for reverse warrior. One breath here, deep inhale. And exhale, cartwheel your arms back down to the ground. And step back to downward dog. From here, we're going to inhale our left leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, plant your foot, and roll your right foot to the ground, cartwheeling your arms up for warrior two. Again, check your feet. Try to be in heel-to-heel alignment with that back foot at a 45-degree angle. Really press into the outside of your right foot and into the ball and heel equally into your left foot. Roll that left hip back into its socket while you roll your right hip forward. Extend your torso up towards the sky. Arms extended out to either side. And notice where your shoulders are. The tendency here is to bring your shoulders up to your ears because you're tense. But let's take a deep breath and just let them fall into our sockets. From here, we're going to inhale, tip slightly forward, bring our left forearm down to our left knee, and extend your right arm towards the front of the mat, palm facing the ground for side angle pose. With each inhale, reaching those right fingertips a little bit more forward. With each exhale, going a little bit deeper into the lunge. If you find the pose is getting harder, just try to bring yourself back to your breath and just do as best you can for yourself today. On our next inhale, we're going to press into the outside of our right foot and rise back up to warrior two. From here, we'll straighten our left leg, tip your hips to the back of your mat. Reach forward and exhale, bring that left hand down to your shin, raising your right arm up to the sky for triangle pose. Again, we're rotating here from the torso, palm up to the sky. If it feels comfortable, you can look up to your right fingertips. But for me, I find it most comfortable just to look to the side. Feel the strength in your feet and in your legs and in your whole body. On your next breath, let's bend that left knee, press into the back of the right foot, and rise back up to warrior two. Last pose here, we're gonna inhale, flip your left palm, tip forward, and exhale, bring it back for reverse warrior. One breath here. On our next, we're gonna take a deep inhale, and exhale, cartwheel your arms to the ground, and let's bring our knees to the ground, and come back to child's pose. Been working hard. I always find child's pose is a great pose just to take some time to regain your focus, regain your breath, and look inward a little bit. Just, a little self-check. See how you're doing. For all you kids out there, yoga might seem weird, some weird thing that your mom does, and it kind of is. But if you're an athlete, it's really good for your flexibility and for your mind and your mental game. And just overall as a person, I think it really helps you connect to the present moment. It allows you to slow life down a little bit and just really think about what's going on right now. Because in the end, that's kind of really all that matters. So with that being said, let's see what do we do next. Let's walk your hands underneath you and then come on up to a stand for some balancing poses. So from here, we are going to grab a hold, bring your feet about hips width distance apart. Lift up all the toes on your left foot, kind of spread them apart, creating a strong base for yourself. Place them down one by one. Shift all your weight into your left foot, and we're going to grab a hold of our right ankle here. And on your next inhale, raise your left arm up to the sky. Now you can stay here. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can, on an exhale, lean forward, kick your right ankle back into your right foot for dancer pose. Now I'm not super flexible, so it's not gonna look too crazy, and it is hard to balance, so probably don't focus on me because I'm moving. So find something that's not moving, focus on that, lean forward, remain strong in that left foot, and it really helps if you kick hard into your right foot, or with your right foot into your right hand. For those in dancer, let's inhale and come back up to a more vertical position. And then we'll exhale, drop our right leg to the ground, shake out your legs. So now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So let's lift up all the toes on our right foot, spread them out, ground them into the mat. Shift your weight over to your right foot. You're gonna grab a hold of our left ankle, and inhale, raise your right arm up to the sky. Again, if you want more of a challenge, tip forward at your hips, kick your left ankle into your left hand, and focus your eyes and attention on something that's not moving. You might feel the shakes in your right leg. Just notice how they feel. We don't really shake too much in daily life. So it's a good reminder of how strong we are and how well we can, blow in the wind or maintain all the rocky earthquakes that life throws us. If you're in dancer, let's come back up vertical and exhale. Everybody drop your left leg back to the ground. Shake it out. All right, one last balancing pose before I turn it back over to my mom. Well, one on each leg. So again, we're gonna shift our weight over to our left foot, and this, I think, is my signature pose. I do it in every class. So we're gonna inhale, raise your right knee up so your thigh is parallel to the ground. And then exhale your breath. On your next inhale, raise your arms up to the sky, and then exhale, place your left hand on the outside of your right knee and twist your right arm towards the back of your room, looking over your right fingertips if you can. Now this is both a twist and a balancing pose. So we're working two of our different motor skills at the same time. So it is a lot more challenging than you might think. Woo. And there we go. All right. Inhale, bring your arms back up to the sky. And exhale, drop it all back down to the ground. Shake it out. All right, last pose here. Let's shift our weight back over to our right foot. Raise your left leg up so your thigh is parallel to the ground. Again, I find it's helpful here to flex your left foot too, so your toes are kind of pointed up to the sky. It just helps you remain tight and remain balanced. Now we're going to inhale our arms up to the sky. Exhale, place your right hand on the outside of your right knee and drop your left arm behind you. Fix your gaze on something that's not moving, just over your outstretched left fingertips. Pressing hard into the ground with the right foot and standing strong like a tree. On our next inhale, let's bring our arms back up to the sky. And exhale, whew, shake it out. All right, and
All right, we are going to come down to the mat. Start just by sitting on your mat. Move the flesh of your seat out of the way, rock side to side. Legs extended in front of you. Flex your toes, reach them up towards the sky. Sit tall, tip your pelvis forward a little bit and reach the crown of your head up towards the sky. Bring your fingertips behind you and puff open your chest. And then slowly press your thighs towards the earth, coming into Dandasana or staff pose. Breathe in here and breathe out. Make space around your heart. Allow things to start slowing down. One more deep breath here. Let it out. Let go of the floor. Inhale your fingertips up towards the sky. Bend your knees a little bit. Just allow yourself to fold forward, round over your shins. You can grab your toes or your knees, whatever's comfortable. Knees are bent. Just notice a nice opening in your back muscles. Forward fold. Breathe into it. You can close your eyes. Notice things slowing. From here, walk your hands back up your shins, up your knees, straight your spine, reach the crown of your head towards the sky once again. Open your eyes. From here, extend your fingers long, rock side to side on your hips, and we'll slowly roll back towards the earth, coming to lie on our back. The slower you go, the harder it is. And if you just want to lie back all the way down on your own, that's also fine. When you get there, just notice, adjust yourself. Take a moment to feel what's touching the earth. Where are the connections? Inhale, reach your arms, fingertips up towards the sky, and exhale, reach them long behind you. So you're stretching from your toes all the way through to your fingertips. Inhale, reach long, and exhale, let everything go. Rock your fingertips over to the right and your toes over to the right, coming into a banana or half moon shape. Breathe into the side body, make space, and let it go. One more deep breath here. Breathe in and let it go. Walk your fingertips and your toes back to center, and then walk them over to the left side. Fingertips reach to the left, toes reach to the left. Half moon, crescent shaped moon, or banana on this side.
Notice the stretch, breathe into it. Walk your toes and your fingers back to center. From here, press the soles of your feet onto the earth. Bend your knees, walk your heels towards your hips. You're going to start by bringing your hands down by your sides, palms, forearms face the earth. Walk your heels a little closer towards your hips. On the inhale, press into your feet and your palms and lift your hips up towards the sky. Come into bridge pose. Shimmy your shoulders underneath you. You can clasp your hands under your hips, or you can grab the outer edge of your mat and then press your mat, pull your mat forward towards your heels. You should notice a nice opening in your chest and your hips rise towards the sky a little bit. Allow your heart to sink and fall in your chest, making space for it to breathe and open. Energetically connect your knees together, reach your hips skyward, breathe in and breathe out. One more deep breath here. And then slowly untuck your shoulders, bring your palms back to the floor and lower your hips inch by inch, vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly as you can. Untuck your shoulders, bring your knees into your chest, give them a hug, rock side to side. Pause here for just a moment. Breathe in and breathe out. Keep a hold of your right knee and straighten your left leg long out in front of you. Flex both toes up towards the sky. On the inhale, hug that knee in towards your chest a little bit. And on the exhale, let it sink a little bit into the hip socket. Breathe into it. And breathe out. One more breath here. Hug it in towards you, breathe in, and let it sink out into the socket. From here, straighten your foot up towards the sky, foot flexed. You can bring your hand behind your hamstring. Toes point towards your nose to start. Press your hamstring into your hands. Point your toe and flex your toe. Point your toe and flex your toe. Last one, point your toe, breathe, and flex your toe. Bend that knee once again. You're going to take your left hand to your right knee. Extend your right arm out towards the side, and then pull your knee over towards the left. Come into an easy twist here. Just go as far as it's comfortable. If you wish, you can bring your right knee to the floor on the left side, but you don't have to. You can use your hand to hold it. You can turn your gaze towards the right hand if you wish to intensify the twist. Notice all the sensations. Any discomfort, don't overdo it, but just notice it. Notice where you're stretching and allowing and growing. It's kind of like being a parent when you have to stretch and allow and grow your kids when they do things that you don't expect or don't necessarily enjoy. Breathe into it and let it go. One more breath. Use your left hand to bring your right knee back to center. Grab it with both hands, give it a nice hug once again, and then straight your leg long toward meet the other one on the mat. Pause here for just a moment. Connect with the earth. Sink into it. Bring your left knee into your chest. Give it a hug with your hands. Right leg is still extended long. Right toes should point towards the sky. Inhale, draw your knee in. And exhale, let it sink outward. Inhale, draw it in towards you. Give it a big hug. Exhale, let it sink outward. From here, grab the hamstring with both hands, straight your left foot up towards the sky, flex your toes towards your nose. Point them towards the sky. Flex them towards your nose. Point and flex. Point and flex. Press the hamstring into your hands for just a moment, and then bend your knee. Give it a hug once again. Take your right hand on the left knee. Left arm extends out towards the left for balance. And then allow the left knee to tip over towards the right. You can use your hand to hold it up. You can allow it to fall to the floor, whatever feels good. If you wish, you can look over towards your left hand to intensify the stretch and the twist. Bring your knee back up to center. If you're using your hand, give it a nice hug with both hands once again. Bring your right knee to meet it. Give them both a hug. Rock side to side on your back. Grab the outer edges of your feet and come into happy baby pose. This one's like the little 4-month-olds that are trying to get their toes into your nose, into their mouth, if you remember that phase. Rock side to side, massage your back muscles. If you wish, you can straighten one leg and then the other. I can't, and that's fine. Everybody's body is different. Soles of the feet point up towards the sky. Just play with it, have fun with it. And then we're gonna bring our feet together, knees apart. Press your heels towards your groin. And then slowly walk your hands up your legs towards your knees and straighten your legs out on the mat, extending long. Come into Shavasana, or final resting pose. Before we rest, take a moment to tighten every muscle in your body, fists tight. Inhale, lift everything up, toes up, head up, tighten everything, and then let it all go. Relax into the floor. Shavasana is a moment to just be, a moment of complete rest. Here, we let go of all control and allow the earth to just hold us. We allow our body to just breathe all by itself. We let the thoughts fly in and fly out. It's a moment of complete rest, of complete pause.
I'm going to read a poem about a mother's love. A mother's love is something that no one can explain. It is made of deep devotion and of sacrifice and pain. It is endless and unselfish and enduring come what may, for nothing can destroy it or take that love away. It is patient and forgiving when all others are forsaking, and it never fails or falters, even though the heart is breaking. It believes beyond believing when the world around condemns, and it glows with all the beauty of the rarest, brightest gems. Gently deepen your breath. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Reach your arms long above you and your toes long in front of you. Take in a big, deep breath and let it all out. Bring your knees into your chest and roll over to your favorite side, kind of like a baby fetal position. You can use your arm as a pillow if you wish, and pause for a moment. Notice how you feel now. Reconnect with that intention or that wish of how you would like to show up for the rest of your day. Press into your hands and slowly come up to a seat. Rock side to side on your hips, ground them into the earth. Lengthen your spine long and tall towards the sky. Hands to your knees to start. And then bring your hands to heart center. Press those palms together once again. I want to send you off with a wish for this day. This day has never been here before and will never come again. This is the moment you have been waiting for. Quench your thirst and live like there is no tomorrow. With that, I hope you all have a beautiful Mother's Day and enjoy spending time together. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Slade, for humoring me and doing this with me. I appreciate it. Namaste. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.